Senator Ted Cruz on CBS Face the Nation defends President-elect Trump's tariffs on Mexico and Canada. He said, "You look at the threat of tariffs against Mexico and Canada immediately has produced action, and it has. They're already coming to the table. You know, Trudeau just met with uh, President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. You got Mexico president. She's changing her tune on the border and how Mexico is gonna protect the border and stuff. So the rhetoric is already the threat of tariffs is already working, even though the naysayers that's been coming out against it lately. Even though Trump had some of the same rhetoric in 2016 and it worked, and even Joe Biden uh, furthered some of Trump's old tariffs, and yet they still talking about how tariffs is a bad thing. It makes no sense. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to play the clip. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Gateway Pundit from David Grayson. He reports that Republican Senator Ted Cruz was on CBS Face the Nation with Major Garrett on Sunday morning to discuss President-elect Trump's tariffs policies on Mexico and Canada. He strongly supported the policy as a means to get these countries to comply on securing the border. Let's just get right to the clip here. Here we go.
Let's pick up this thread on tariffs. I remember covering your presidential campaign in 2016, and you were a skeptic of tariffs then. I know the politics around tariffs have changed. President-elect Trump has done that. But have the economics changed?
Well, I'll tell you what hasn't changed is the importance of leverage. And I got to say, you look at the threat of tariffs against Mexico and Canada immediately has produced action. We've seen the president of Mexico stand up and promise that she is going to work hand in hand with the president of the United States, President Trump, to secure the border. I'll tell you, representing Texas, we've seen 4 years of an invasion at our southern border. And let me ask you, Major, why hasn't Joe Biden done this? Why hasn't Joe Biden actually stood up and used leverage to secure the border? And the reason is Joe Biden and the Democrats wanted this invasion to happen. And I got to say, this is a promise that I believe President Trump is going to deliver on, and deliver quickly. We are going to secure the border. This is about using leverage to get Mexico and Canada to cooperate. And I'll tell you, Major, I think one of the very first bills we're going to take up in the Senate, vote on, and I hope pass, is my legislation, the Justice for Jocelyn Act, that is a response to the horrific rape and murder of Jocelyn Nungaray, 12-year-old girl in Houston, Texas, killed by violent criminal illegal aliens released by Joe Biden and the Democrats. This is a promise the president needs to deliver on. I think he's going to.
So when you
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's exactly what it is a threat. And he will follow through on that threat if they don't comply. Senator Cruz said that he expects President Trump to bring back remain in Mexico to minimize illegals entering the United States. So let's play that clip here. Here we go.
when you think about tariffs and President-elect Trump, you don't take them seriously as an economic matter. You take them.
See how he's trying to play these games. You don't take it seriously as a well. You have to take it seriously because you have to be able to back up the threat. A threat it doesn't mean anything if you won't go through on that threat. And I think Trump would follow through on that threat if they do not secure the borders like he says. But let me go back here. Here we go.
Seriously, only as a diplomatic lever.
Well, look, I think the president was explicit with Mexico and Canada. He said he will impose these tariffs unless they secure the border. It was explicitly leverage. And by the way, that is the same way that President Trump negotiated the Remain in Mexico agreement. If you remember, during his first term, President Trump threatened tariffs against Mexico, and AMLO, then the president of Mexico, he was incredibly scared and concerned. He was scared of Trump, and he ended up signing the Remain in Mexico agreement, which produced the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years. It was incredibly
Yeah.
successful. What did Joe Biden and the Democrats do when they came in? The very first
Open the
week in office, they
floodgates.
ripped up that incredibly successful international agreement. I expect we will once again enter into Remain in Mexico, and we are going to see, I'm going to make a prediction right now. We will see the numbers plummet of illegal immigration coming into this country, not in a year, not in 6 months, but in January and February, because we will have a president who will vigorously enforce the law.
On that point, Senator Cruz, you would concede that in the last 3 or 4 months, numbers have gone down already, have they not?
They have ticked down slightly. We have
Slightly.
still seen over these 4 years the highest rate of illegal immigration
Ever.
in our nation's history.
Yeah.
12 million illegal immigrants have come into this country. And I got to say, in a state like Texas, you want to see the consequences. This last election was an incredible landslide for President Trump. He won all 7 of the swing states. And in Texas, President Trump won Hispanic voters in Texas. I won Hispanic voters in Texas. I won statewide by 1 million votes, 9 points. And South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, has literally spent over 100 years as a bright blue Democrat bastion. This cycle, South Texas flipped Republican, and it is amazing what having 12 million people invade your home can do to change people's voting behavior.
Right.
I think the president has a mandate to deliver on securing the border, and I look forward to working hand in hand with him to deliver on that promise.
I love it. I love to see this. Trump is not even in office yet, and his policies are already helping out Americans. And we see, remember the caravan they had coming at one time? You've seen the caravan disperse. All of this stuff happening because they know that President Trump is coming in and he's not playing around about this border situation. So, and the countries, other countries know, Mexico and Canada know that if they don't follow through, Trump will levy those tariffs. He will bring those tariffs upon them, and they definitely don't want that. That's why Trudeau went to kiss the ring and all that other stuff. But y'all, let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.